All right, so we have seen the lovely custom jerseys and such for these particular rosters. Again, for anybody that missed it, Series S, Series X, simple enough. Go to roster sharing, go to download community files, and make sure you find Mr. Snipe and Score. Hit X to search file or hit Y for view creator files, and we are looking at his 2011 rosters, and let's take a look at the actual ratings and such of everybody. We'll move back over this way and then all the way over to the right-hand side so that nothing is blanked out. Let's see what we got. So the Anaheim Ducks rocking with, let's go by center here. So Getzlaf, Sako Koivu, Todd Marchant, and Kyle Chipchura. Fair enough. Left wing, Jason Blake, Brandon McMillan, and Brad Winchester. All right. Right-hand side, Teemu Selanne, of course, still there, 40 years old. Corey Perry, Bobby Ryan, Jarkko Ruutu, and George Peros. And on defense, Lubomir Vishnevsky, Francois Beauchemin, Tony Ludman, Cam Fowler at 19 years old, Andreas Lilia, Lucas Spiza. And in goal, Jonas Hiller, Razor Ray Emery, and Dan Ellis. So again, what Snipe chose to do, while there are certain players, obviously, that are in the game as legends or under the NHLPA agreement and all that, the Players Association, you can't edit the age of those players. So if you can, or if you want to, you can go through, take the Teemu Selanne from here, edit him to what Snipe has him at, and then put him on the Ducks. It'll set him to 26 or 27 years old within franchise mode. It all depends on how much you care about the ages being accurate, what you plan on doing within franchise mode. If you plan on simming numerous years, probably just use this as it is. If you plan on doing like a one-off full play season, like I might, then maybe we'll switch people over. The Arizona Coyotes, of course they were the Phoenix Coyotes at the time. Martin Hanzal, Eric Belanger, Vernon Fiddler, and Kyle Turris. Thank you for making Vernon Fiddler have quick draw. Appreciate it. Kyle Turris with that lovely high nine. Mikey, what's going on? Left-hand side, Ray Whitney, Taylor Pyatt, Lori Korpikoski, Mikhail Bodker, and Paul Bissonnette. Biz with 90 fighting skill. I know it's broken up by the camera at the moment, but shout out to Biz. Right-hand side, Shane Doan, Radim Verbata, and Lee Stempniak. I don't think there were any crazy contracts we missed, and there weren't. Defensively, Keith Yandel, when he was only 25. Adrian Aucoin, Joe Vokop, Derek Morris, Michael Roosevelt, Rusty Klesla, and a 19-year-old Oliver Ekman-Larsson. And in goal, Brzgalov at an 87, and Jason LaBarbera. And then we get to the boys. Oh, the sweet, beautiful boys. Patrice Bergeron, David Krejci, Mark Savard, already injured, unfortunately, at this time. Rich Peverly, Chris Kelly, and a 19-year-old Tyler Seguin. Beautiful. Beautiful. Left-hand side, Milan Lucic, Brad Marchand. These ratings are way too low. Soupy, Gregory Campbell's there, and Sean Thornton. Right-hand side, Nathan Horton, Mark Recchi, and Bruins legend, screw you, Montreal, Michael Ryder. It's beautiful. Defensively, you have Zdeno Chara, Thomas Caberlet, that's weird as hell, Dennis Seidenberg, Johnny Boychuk, Andrew Ferentz, and Adam McQuaid. God, this team is just beautiful. And in goal, Timothy Thomas, with Tuukka Rask behind him. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Has dialed in. That's fair. That's fair. Just make him more difficult if you don't beat him early. What a team. What a team. Again, the one day I don't wear a Bruins jersey on stream. Buffalo with Derek Roy, Tim Connolly, Rob Niedermeyer, Paul Gostad, and Cody McCormick. On the left, Thomas Vanek, 7.1 for 4 years. Jochen Heck, Tyler Ennis, and Nathan Gerby. On that right-hand side, Jason Pominville, Brad Boys, Drew Stafford, and Mike Greer. Oh, Pominville. Defensively, Jordan Leopold, Tyler Myers at 20 years old, Andre Sakara, Steve Monador, R.I.P., Sean Morrison, and Mike Weber. And in goal, Ryan Miller. Like, look, I know Ryan Miller was amazing and everything, but like Tim Thomas, 95 overall, please. Thank you. Jonas Enroth, Patrick Lalime. It's the backups in Buffalo. Calgary, Brendan Morrison, Olli Jokinen, Matt Stajan, and Mikael Backlund. A young Mikael Backlund. Tim Thomas was overrated. You're overrated. Got Alex Tangay, Curtis Glencross, what a name. Nick Hagman and David Moss. Right-hand side, Jerome McGinley. And Rene Bourque for 6 years at 3.335. Whew. God, that Iginla must be fun to use. Tom Kostopoulos, Tim Jackman. Good old Tim Jackman. Defense is Bouwmeester, 6.7 a century for 4 years. Mark Giordano, Robin Regier, Anton Babchuk, Steve Stais, and Corey Sarich. 3.5 for 2 years. Oof. Goaltender Mika Kiprusoff. About $6 million for 4 years at 34 years old. And Henrik Karlsson is the backup. Fair. Carolina, Eric Stahl, captain. 8.25 for 6 years. Brandon Sutter before the Penguins trade, right? Because he went from Carolina to Pittsburgh with the Jordan Stahl deal. Left wing, Eric Cole. UC Jokinen, gold all alone, good call. Corey Stillman. Very, very young Jeff Skinner. Surprised Jeff Skinner doesn't have elite edges or anything related to his skating. Yuri Talusti, and everyone's favorite Twitter follow, Zach Boychuk. Tuomo Ruutu, Chad LaRose. Oh, bro, what's going on? Patrick Dwyer, Troy Bodie. I didn't think of that. Well, it's not, hey, you got a lot to think about at once. These are the things. These are the things that can slip through. I'm just here to give my take, as I do, on Spotify, Apple Music, Google, and on YouTube. What the Dookie Say podcast. We have Joe Corvo, Yanni Pikkinen, Brian Allen, Tim Gleason, Jay Harrison, and Jamie McBain. Good old Jamie McBain. Goalies Cam Ward and Justin Peters. Fair enough. Cam Ward's still getting the X Factor. It's for Adventurer, though. Chicago, 89 Taves. Can't disagree with it at the time. Thomas Kopechki. Jake Dowell. We got Patrick Sharp, Dave Boland, Brian Bickle, Victor Stahlberg, Patrick Kane, Marion Hossa, Troy Brower, Michael Frolik, Fernando Pisani. Defense is Duncan Keith, Brent Seabrook, Brian Campbell, Chris Campoli, Nick Chalmerson, and a very, very young Nicoletti. Duncan Keith signed for 13 years at $5.5 million. Yeah, fair call. Seabrook's five-year extension kicks in. 13-year deal for Duncan Keith. 11-year deal for Marion Hossa, by the way. Completely scanned over that one. You got Corey Crawford and Marty Turco in goal. Crawford with a 3-year extension. Damn. Centers for Colorado. You got Paul Stastny, Matt Duchene, a very young Matt Duchene, Ryan O'Reilly, a very young Ryan O'Reilly, Jay McClement, Kevin Porter, and Philippe Dupuis. Got Thomas Fleischman, Caps legend, Daniel Winnick and Cody McLeod, Milan Hayduk, David Jones, Hut legend David Jones, and Brandon Yip. Defense, John Michael Lyles, a still pretty young Eric Johnson, Adam Foote, an ancient Adam Foote, Ryan Wilson, Matt Hunwick, and Ryan O'Beauty. Ryan O'Byrne. I keep going back now and looking at the contracts to see if there's anything crazy. Goalies, Brian Elliott and Peter Budaj. Not bad. Columbus with Anton Vermette. Anton Vermette. RJ Umberger. Vermette signed for 5 years. A younger Derek Brassard. Derek McKenzie and Sammy Paulson. For all the Ducks fans out there. Rick Nash, 8 years at just about $8 million. Not bad. Scotty Upshaw and Matt Calvert. Right-hand side is Jake Voracek at 21 years old. Chris Clark, that's a name. Derek Dorsett and Jared Bowl. Got to get all the grit. Defense, Fedor Tutin, Mark Mathot, Jan Hayda, Chris Russell, Anton Strawman, and Craig Rive. I love Strawman with the gold ice pack there. Goalies, Steve Mason and Matthew Garrall. Mason's extension is only for 2 years. Wouldn't be that much longer before the Blue Jackets traded Rick Nash. Dallas has Brad Richards, Scumbag, Steve Ott, Tom Wandell, Toby Peterson, and Brian Sotheby. Boy, that depth. Whew. Got some good depth there. Left wing is the man, the myth, the legend, Louis Eriksson. Love to see it. Brendan Morrow and a young Jamie Benn. Thought I had a phone call coming through. I was wrong. Right-hand side, Jamie Langenbrunner, Adam Burish, and Brandon Siegel. Seagal. Got Alex Goligoski on defense, Trevor Daly, Stefan Robida, before he went to Robida Island, Ontario. Carlos Scrashton, Nick Grossman, and Jeff Wojwicka. The names. Ooh boy, in goal. Kari Lehtinen and Snipe, you have some nerve giving Andrew Raycroft an 82 in 2011. You have some nerve. You have some nerve. As much as I love that man. Oh, God. So I guess, yeah, Turco was gone already, huh? Yeah, that's right. He was in Chicago, so. Detroit with Pavel Datsyuk. My God. Henrik Zetterberg. Darren Helm and Valtteri Filppula. Left hand, by the way, 11-year deal for Henrik Zetterberg at $6 million. And a 10-year deal for Johan Franzen at $4 million. He's an 85. You got Thomas Holmstrom. 1-year extension. Justin Abdelkader and Drew Miller. Some say he's still getting chirped about his hair to this day. Todd Bertuzzi, Yuri Hudler, Daniel Cleary, and Patrick Eves. The defense, Nick Lidstrom at 40. Brian Rafalski at 37. You got Cronwall, who I'm surprised doesn't have gold truculence. I gotta be honest, I'm surprised. We've seen some other dudes with golds like Advocator. I'm surprised there's not gold truculence for Cronwall. You got Brad Stewart, Ruslan Saleh, and Jonathan Erickson. I did not think of Ruslan Saleh as a Red Wing. And in goal, Jimmy Howard, alongside Chris Osgood and Joey McDonald. Edmonton, Sean Horkoff, Sam Gagne, and Colin Fraser. Left-hand side, a very, very young Taylor Hall, Andrew Cogliano, Magnus Pyarvi Svensson, Linus Omar.
Good
spin
for
move.
you.
I'm going to go with Rontenac. I don't know. Thank you for the follow, regardless. It's too many names, like Jean-Francois Jacques. Love to see it. Right-hand side, Jays, I'll talk about that after. Right-hand side, we have Hemsky, a very young Jordan Eberle, Ryan Jones, and Liam Reddix. Oh, God. Just reminds me of Oil Change on YouTube. Defensively, Ryan Whitney, Tommy Gilbert. 4x4 for Gilbert. Curtis Foster, Jim Vandermeer, Ladislav Schmid, and Theo Peckham. Good old Theo. What a guy. Haven't talked to him in a while. Goalie-wise, Nikolai Hobby-Bulin and Devin Dubnik.
Oh, good
The Dubnik,
for you.
the Dubnik. Wesley, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Let's see what we got here. For the Florida Panthers, Stephen Weiss, Mike Santorelli, Marty Reisner, and Sean Matthias. Left wings, Sergei Samsonov. Love that man. David Booth, 5-year deal. Rostislav Olish and Darcy Hordachuk. Right-hand side, Nick Bergfors, Steve Bernier, Evgeny Dodonov, and Jack Skilly. The defense, Dmitry Kulikov. Oh, this defense. Jason Garrison, Mike Weaver, Keaton Ellerby, Alex Sulzer, and Joe Callahan. That's rough. And in goal, Tomas Vokoun and Scott Clemenson Edloinho. What's going on? Good old Thomas Vokoun. God, this team sucked. The LA Kings, Anze Kopitar, Jarrett Stoll, Michael Hanzus, and Trevor Lewis. Left-hand side, Pancakes himself, Ryan Smith. That was always weird. I had a Ryan Smith Kings jersey before I flipped it. That was weird. Alexei Ponikarovsky, Kyle Clifford. Right-hand side, Dustin Brown, Justin Williams, Wayne Simmons, and Brad Richardson. On defense, Drew Doughty at 21, Jack Johnson, Willie Mitchell, Alec Martinez, Rob Scuderi, and Matt Green. This team would be a 7-year extension for Jack Johnson. This team would just be a few pieces away. One Jeff Carter away. You got Jonathan Quick and Jonathan Bernier in goal. Cheap-ass deal for Quick, too. Oh, Minnesota. Mikko Koivu. 7 years, almost $7 million. Pierre-Marc Bouchard, Matt Cullen, John Madden, and Kyle Brodziak. Left-hand side, Andrew Brunette and Eric Nystrom. Right-hand side, Martin Havlat. 5-year deal for him. Antti Miettinen, Chuck Kobasu, Cal Clutterbuck, and Brad Staubitz. Good old Brad Staubitz. The defense, Brent Burns before the Charlie Coyle Sharks trade. Marek Zidlichky, Nick Schultz, a very young Jared Spurgeon, Greg Zanin, and Clayton Stoner. It's an interesting defense. Goalies, Nicholas Backstrom and Jose Atador, who I do not remember playing in Minnesota at all. I thought the backup was going to be Josh Harding. I was wrong. Montreal, Turtleneck himself, 6-year deal. Scott Gomez, David Desharnais, Jeff Halpern, and Lars Eller. Left wing, Mike Camilleri, Benoit Pouliot, Matthew Darsh, Travis Moen, and Tom Pyatt. Harding signing because he missed the entire year due to injury. Fair enough. Right wings, Brian Gianna and Andre Kostitsyn. The defense, James Wisniewski, Roman Hammerlick, Yaroslav Spacek, a young PK Subban, Paul Mara, Hal Gill, and Brent Sopel. The goaltender, Carey Price, with Alex Auld behind him. Now, I'll tell you, that looks like the perfect team to lose to the Boston Bruins in the first round. Nashville, Mike Fisher, David Legwand, Colin Wilson, Marcel Gotch, Nick Spaulding, and Jared Smithson. Not too bad. Left wing, Sergei Kostitsyn. The Kostitsyns were already split up. Right-hand side, Martin Erat, Steve Sullivan, JP Dumont, Patrick Hornqvist, Joel Ward, and Jordan Tutu. This Nashville team was fun to use in Versus at the time. They're actually my go-to in Versus around this time. Shea Weber, Ryan Suter, Kevin Klein, Cody Franzen, Francois Bouillon, and Shane O'Beauty. Goaltender, Pekka Rinne, Anders Lindback as the backup. And to Snipes' point, there's no Andrei Markov because of injury concerns. I guess that's just the way he chose to go about it. Fair enough. Oh, we already looked at Nashville. New Jersey. The Jersey. Travis Zajac, Dinas Zubris, Dave Steckel, Adam Mayer, and Rod Pelly. Big yikes. Left wing gets better with Kovalchuk, Zach Parise, Patrick Eliash. That's ridiculous. And then Matthias Tedenby. Right-hand side, Brian Ralston, Davey Clarkman, Vladimir Zharkov, and Paul Mary. And yeah, you're right. I completely overlooked it. The 15-year deal for Ilya Kovalchuk that got the Devils into a little bit of trouble. Just a bit. You got Andy Green on defense, Anton Volchenkov, Colin White, Henrik Tallinder, Ansi Salmela, and Mark Fain. In goal still, St. Louis Blues legend Martin Brodeur. With Johan Hedberg behind him. Good old Johan Hedberg. The Islanders with a young John Tavares, Franz Nielsen, Josh Bailey, and Zenon Konopka. Left-hand side, Matt Molson, Michael Grabner. I'm also surprised doesn't have something related to his speed. Blake Como, Matt Martin, Jesse Joensuu, and Trevor Gillies. Let's get those enforcers going. Sweet, beautiful enforcers. P.A. Parento and Kyle Okposo on the right. Gillies has the handlebar, he better. And defensively, Andy McDonald, Milan Yurchina, Radek Martinek, Travis Hamonic at 20 years old, Bruno Gervais, and Jack Hillen. I wonder why this team didn't go very far. And in goal, the 11-year contract of 77 overall, Rick DiPietro. Al Montoya, Nathan Lawson, and Kevin Poulin. Oof. It's beautiful. The Rangers with Brandon Dubinsky, Brian Boyle, Derek Stepan, Artem Anisimov, and Eric Christensen. Left-hand side, Alexander Frolov, Wojciech Wolski, Ruslan Fedotenko. It's very weird to think of him as a Ranger. Sean Avery. And Brandon Prust. Right-hand side, Marion Gaborik and Ryan Callahan. And in the defense corps, Dan Girardi. Brian McCabe as a Ranger. That's weird to think about. Mark Stahl, Michael Delzato, Steve Eminger, Michael Sauer, and Matt Gilroy. And in goal, of course, Henrik Lundqvist and Martin Biron. Good old Martin Biron. Was 92 the cap for goalies? Thomas, Ryan Miller, Lundqvist. The Ottawa Senators with Jason Spezza, Jesse Winchester, and Peter Reagan. Oh my god. Whew. That's some center depth right there. I think Luongo's the highest at a 93. Worst rosters ever. I'm taking my like away. How dare you? You have Luongo ahead of Tim Thomas for a 2011 roster. How do I take my like away? My downloads. How do I take my like away? Can I? Unlike. There we go. You blew it. You blew it. Anyway, back to the teams. Back to the teams. We again go to Ottawa. This time their left wings, Nick Foligno, Zach Smith, and Colin Greene. I'm surprised Zach Smith doesn't have center as a secondary position, but that's okay. Right-hand side, Alfie, shortly before his Detroit excursion. Milan Mahalik, and then, my God, Ryan Shannon, Chris Neal, Eric Condra, Bobby Butler. Not a good team. Defense, Sergei Gonchar apparently played in Ottawa. I have no recollection of that. A very young Eric Carlson. Chris Phillips, Philip Kuba, Matt Karkner, and Brian Lee. And in goal, Craig Anderson, Curtis McElhinney and Pascal Leclerc at the end of a $3.8 million contract. Woof. Philadelphia, Danny Briere, a 10-year deal for Mike Richards and a 12-year deal for Jeff Carter. All right. Claude Giroux at 23, Blair Betts, and Darryl Powell. Whew. Left wing, Scotty Hartnell, James Van Riemsdyk at 21, Billy Lano, and Daniel Carcillo. Right-hand side, Christopher Stieg, who I don't remember as a Flyer at all, Nikolai Zherdev and Andreas Nodal. And on defense, Chris Pronger, Kimmo Timonen, Matt Carl, Braden Coburn, Andre Mazaros, and Sean O'Donnell. Nice 7-year deal for Pronger still. And in goal, Sergei Bobrovsky and Brian Boucher. Oh, Sergei, you won't be there long, buddy. You won't be there long. Pittsburgh, 94 Crosby, a 91 Evgeny Malkin, Jordan Staal, Max Talbot, and Mark Letestu. Left-hand side, Chris Kunitz, piece of shit, Pascal Dupuis, James Neal, and Mike Rupp. Right-hand side, Alex Kovalev, who was ancient at the time, Tyler Kennedy and Craig Adams. The defense, Chris Letang, Paul Martin, nice 5x5 deal. Brooks Orpik, Zebnik Mahalik, Matt Niskanen, and Derek Engeland. Boy, they got some term on that blue line. Goalies, Marc-Andre Fleury and Brent Right Hand Johnson. At least that's how Rick DiPietro refers to him. All-time goalie fight there. The San Jose Sharks with Joe Thornton. 3-year extension for Jumbo. Patty Marleau. Joe Pavelski. Logan Couture. How the hell did you never win a Stanley Cup with those three as your top? My God, San Jose. Torrey Mitchell and Scott Nickel. I won't talk about it too much. I'll depress Sin and no sleeves. So, Danny Heatley. I don't know if he should have been an 87 still at the time. I don't know his stats, but we were quite a few years removed from 50 and 07. Ryan Clough, Jamie McGinn, and Ben Eager. Right-hand side, Devin Setaguchi and Jamal Mayers. On defense, Dan Boyle, Marc-Edouard Vlasic, Doug Murray, Ian White, Jason Demers, Nicholas Wallin, and Kent Huskins. Good old Kent Huskins. Goalies, Antti Niemi and Antaroa Niittymaki. Niemi, 4-year extension, 3.8, it's not bad. The Seattle Kraken, which looks to be the North American future stars, with Ryan Johansson, Braden Shen, Tyler Johnson, Yanni Gord, and Jonathan Marchessault. Left-hand side is Andre Palat, Gustav Nyquist, and Chris Kreider. Right-hand side, Brendan Gallagher, Cam Atkinson, Tyler Toffoli, and Mark Stone. Their contracts have to get reorganized, right? The defense, Eric Goodbranson. Love to see it. Tyson Barrie, Calvin DeHaan, Jamie Alexiak, Brian Dumoulin, and Ben Sherratt. Nyquist played for Maine. He sure did. He sure did. He wore that beautiful jersey on the far right there. Philip Grubauer, Peter Mrazek, Darcy Kemper, Scott Wedgwood, Casey DeSmith as the goalies for that team. St. Louis is Andy McDonald, David Backes, Patrick Berglund, and Vladimir Savoka. Left-hand side, Alex Steen, David Perron, and Chris Porter. Right-hand side, TJ Oshie, Chris Stewart, Matt D'Agostini, Ryan Reeves, Cam Janssen, oh my God, BJ Crombeen. This team will beat the shit out of you. Defensively, Alex Pietrangelo, Barrett Jackman, Kevin Shattenkirk, Carlo Koliakovo, Roman Polak, and Nikita Nikitin. 5-year extension for Polak, too. In goal, Yaroslav Halak, Ty Conklin. I do not have a Lewis to Maniacs jersey, unfortunately. As much as I miss that team, also, it's Lewiston, and not a great place. Not a great place. Yaroslav Halak, Ty Conklin for St. Louis. Tampa Bay, with a very young Mr. Steven Stamkos, Vinny LeCavalier's 10-year deal, Dominic Moore and Nate Thompson. Left-hand side, Simone Gagne. That's always weird to think of him in Tampa. Ryan Malone, Sean Bergenheim, and Dana Terrell. What a name. Right-hand side, Martin St. Louis. Shortly before that trade to the Rangers. 4-year extension. Teddy Purcell, Steve Downey, and Adam Hall. Defense, Victor Hedman at 19 years old. Pavel Kabina, Brett Clark, Eric Brewer, Matthias Olin, Mike Lundin, and Randy Jones. The goalies, Dwayne Rollison and Mike Smith. Dwayne Rollison, who would almost eliminate the Bruins in the conference final, but he didn't. That looks like a great team that can lose to the Bruins. The Flyers, too, for that matter. The Toronto Maple Leafs, Mikhail Grabovski, Tyler Bozak, Nazem Kadri, and Tim Brent. Oh, Tim Brent. The good old days. Left wing, Joffrey Lupul, Nikolai Kulemin, and Clark MacArthur. Right-hand side, Phil Kessel, Colby Armstrong, Freddie Sjostrom, Joey Crab, Mike Brown, and Colt Orr. No Fraser McLaren yet, huh? On defense, Dion Phaneuf, alongside Luke Shen, Carl Gunnarsson, Mike Komisarek, Brett Lebda, and Keith Ali. Fabulous he. Oh god, he's patrolling our blue line. And in goal, James Reimer, J.S. Jaguar, and the monster, Jonas Gustafsson. And talk about great teams to lose a Stanley Cup final. Henrik Sedin, Ryan Kessler, Manny Malhotra, and Max Lapierre. Scumbag. That's a team. Left-hand side, Daniel Sedin, piece of shit, Mason Raymond, Chris Higgins, Yannick Hansen, Rafi Torres, Jeff Tambellini, and Tanner Glass. And on the right-hand side, Mikhail Samuelsson, former Hut Lord, NHL 12. The defense, Alex Edler, Christian Ehrhoff, Dan Hamhuis, Kevin Bieksa, Keith Ballard, and Aaron Rome. The goalie, Roberto Luongo, with a 12-year contract and an overinflated rating. And Corey Schneider at an 84. Vegas looks to be the best of Europe. I think it was. The Yashins there, Peter Nedved, Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, Pavel Demitra, Vladislav Nagy, Slava Kozlov, Jaromir Jagr, Maxim Afinogenov, Radulov, Peter Sikora, Richard Zednik, and a young Vladimir Tarasenko. The defense is Ozelinch, Ninima, Malik, Vananen, Klingberg, and Ekholm. And in goal, Dominic Hasek at 46. We're getting the puck up. Beautiful. And the Washington Capitals with Nick Backstrom's 10-year deal. Brooks Lake, I don't remember Jason Arnott as a cap at all. Marcus Johansson, Matt Hendricks, and Boyd Gordon. Left-hand side, Alex Ovechkin's 11-year deal at a 94 overall. Alex Semin, only a 1-year extension. Jason Chimera, and I don't remember Marco Sturm as a cap either. Damn. Right wing, Mike Knuble and Matt Bradley. The defense, Mike Green, Dennis Weidman, I don't remember him as a cap. John Carlson, Jeff Schultz, Carl Alsner, Scott Hannon, and John Erskine. Goaltender, Michael Neuwirth. A lot of stuff you don't remember were deadline deals. There you go. Michael Neuwirth, Semyon Varlamov, and a young Braden Holtby. And then Winnipeg, would be the Atlanta Thrashers, obviously. Andre Pavlectric. Between the pipes, Chris Mason. Defense is Dustin Byfuglien, Toby Enstrom, Ron Hainsey, Johnny Oduya, Mark Stewart, and Zach Bogosian. Most of those guys would obviously be there the next year when they move back to Winnipeg. That's it, back to Winnipeg. Right-hand side, Blake Wheeler, Radek Dvorak, Anthony Stewart, Chris Thorburn. It's a weird team. Left wings, Andrew Ladd, Evander Kane, Alex Burmistrov, and Eric Bolton. Centers, Nick Antropoff, Brian Little, Rob Schremp, and Tim Stapleton. And that's it. Snipes 2011 rosters? I mean, hey, look, there's stuff I disagree with, but you can't fault someone for putting in this much goddamn work. Lord knows I would if it wasn't so difficult to maintain a modern roster update, you know? I'm still very torn in terms of, I'll probably end up doing something with that roster, but like I said, I'm always torn with these rosters because I don't think I'd long play it. I think I'd like to do a one-season playthrough, which is really where the idea comes of looking at these alumni teams and moving people like Shane Doan to the Coyotes, even if it's just for the sake of a picture, which, does a picture matter that much? No, but then the on-ice likeness also helps. You know, like Shane Doan still has his player face that was in the game for a super long time. Basically, I am going to continue to beg my friends at EA to allow us to edit player ages. I don't know if they're legally allowed to. You got to figure if it's an alumni team, they probably have to keep these guys, you know, accurate to what their age is. Even if that means frickin' Jean Rattel's listed as 80 years old. Or, you know, in the case of some Habs players, you have 119-year-old Howie Morenz. So, but again, check out Snipes rosters if you're on the Series S and the Series X. They are beautiful. They are fantastic.